My beloved child, pause for a moment and feel what I am about to speak, because this is not a gentle reminder, but a warning sound rising straight from the courts of heaven. Do you hear it? In these recent days, your spirit has been trembling like an alarm bell, yet you brushed it aside, thinking it was only a fleeting emotion. But I tell you the truth, it was me shaking you awake, awakening the part of your soul that has been sleeping, the part that has endured too much for too long, the part that knows what is wrong yet has remained silent. For you are standing at a dangerous threshold, not because I want you to be afraid, but because I do not want you to lose yourself. This is not something general, not a warning for the masses, not a distant sermon. This is a battle for your very soul, and if you do not rise now, darkness will claim the places you have neglected to guard. I know you are tired. Tired of yourself, tired of the old cycles, tired of the things you keep telling yourself are fine. Even though they have been making your soul bleed, you have been comforting yourself with reasonable explanations. But deep inside you know you have been compromising. You know you have been stepping out of rhythm. You know there are choices you call weakness. Yet in truth you have been giving the enemy ground. I say none of this to condemn you. No, I speak it to rescue you from the trap you can no longer see. Compromise does not soothe you, it only disorients you. And when you lose your sense of direction, you begin to live like someone pushed from place to place instead of living like the one I called. You must hear this with holy trembling. You are walking far too close to the cliff edge from which I have pulled you back many times, not to scold you, but because I love you more than you have ever understood. You thought I was silent when you stepped off course. No, I already sent signals. I already nudged your spirit. I made you feel unsettled in the wrong decisions. I left your heart empty after the things that drew you away from me. But because you believed I was too gentle, you assumed I would leave you alone. You thought I did not care, that I would stand far away and simply watch. But my child, I am not an absent father. I am not the one who watches you self-destruct and does nothing. I am the one who guards your soul even when you cannot guard yourself. That is why I must warn you not to punish you, but to keep you from losing the very essence of who you are. Look back at these recent days. Why are you exhausted, though you have done nothing strenuous? Why do you feel heavy when nothing big has happened? Why do you sense yourself drifting from me faster than you can explain? It is because your soul is being pulled toward a place I never intended for you. I'm not showing you this so you panic, but so you stop. Stop before compromise turns into chains. Stop before the small things become a large snare. Stop so that I can pull you back before you go farther than your heart can bear. This urgency is not meant to frighten you, but to rescue you. Hear my words with the seriousness of a soul standing at the doorway of life every time you ignore my voice. A part of your heart grows numb, like David when he saw Bathsheba. He heard the inner warning, but pushed it aside, and that single dismissal opened the door to years of downfall. I do not want the same to happen to you. Stop so that I can pull you back before you go farther than your heart can bear. This urgency is not meant to frighten you, but to rescue you. Hear my words with the seriousness of a soul standing at the doorway of life every time you ignore my voice. A part of your heart grows numb, like David when he saw Bathsheba. He heard the inner warning, but pushed it aside, and that single dismissal opened the door to years of downfall. I do not want the same to happen to you, but because you believed I was too gentle, you assumed I would leave you alone. You thought I did not care, that I would stand far away and simply watch. But my child, I am not an absent father. I am not the one who watches you self-destruct and does nothing. I am the one who guards your soul even when you cannot guard yourself. That is why I must warn you not to punish you, but to keep you from losing the very essence of who you are. I come to call you back before darkness rebuilds the prison you once broke out of. But hear this with all hope. I am not warning you because you have failed. I am warning you because there is still hope, still a future, still a story I desire to rewrite from the beginning. You are not abandoned, not removed from grace, not dismissed. You are simply being awakened from the illusion that you are okay. I do not want you to be okay. I want you to live, to be strong, to belong fully to the light I created you for. This is my word if you return. Every door I once closed will open again. If you surrender, every chain will break. If you come back, every part of you that you believed had died will live again. And here is the point I want to engrave deeply. I do not punish you. I have never been the one who delights in correction that makes you hurt. You have misunderstood me. And that misunderstanding is what makes you avoid me. You fear my disappointment. You fear my anger. You fear being abandoned by me. But my child, I am the Father who is slow to anger, rich in kindness, and full of mercy. I warn you not to strike you, but to lift you, not to make you afraid, but to pull you out of the trap, not to shame you, but to bring you into a truth that heals you. And because I love you, I say this with the seriousness of heaven. You must leave compromise right now. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready, not when the timing feels right. It must be this very moment, because the moment you hear my voice is the same moment I open the way. You don't need strength to step forward, you need surrender. You don't need perfection to return, you only need honesty. You don't need to prove anything, you only need to release what is pulling you away from me. Do not wait until you are exhausted before you come back. Return while you still have the strength to run toward the light. I need you to recognize something profoundly important. Compromise never stays still. It never remains small. It always seeks to go deeper, to take more, to cling tighter. What you think is just a small mistake is in truth a doorway opened for larger attacks. What you think is only a passing emotion is actually a subtle strategy to draw you out of the light. I do not say this to frighten you, but to awaken you, because the greatest danger is not darkness, it is the complacency that convinces you that you are fine. When you say, I can control this, that is the moment you are losing control. When you say, just this one time, that is the moment darkness writes another link in the chain. You may not see it immediately, but I do, and I do not leave you alone in this battle. I know you feel ashamed when you look back at the moments you fell, but I tell you the truth, shame does not heal you. It only makes you hide from me longer. You cannot win in darkness if you continue to avoid the light. You cannot break the cycle if you refuse to face it. But I do not call you to face it so you can condemn yourself. I call you to face it so I can heal you. There is nothing you hide that I do not know. Nothing you fear to confront that I do not understand. Nothing you think would disappoint me that actually keeps me from opening my arms to you. I am not intimidated by your weakness. I am only concerned when you pretend to be strong without me. You do not need to appear perfect before me. You only need to be real. I must make this clear every time you compromise. You exchange your spiritual sensitivity for a moment of temporary relief. You lose the ability to hear me clearly. You lose the discernment that separates my voice from your emotions. You lose the sharpness of the spirit, like a sword once sharp becoming dull from lack of care. I do not want you to lose that strength. I do not want you weary in battles you should have won easily. I call you back not to accuse you, but to sharpen you again so the light within you shines brighter than ever. When you return, not only is compromise broken, but your identity is restored. Remember, this darkness does not steal you in a single day. It takes you through small concessions. It does not need you to fall greatly. It only needs you to drift slowly. But I do not allow that drift to continue. I intervene in every thought you entertain. I block every voice that tries to persuade you to slow down. Step back, or rest in what is wrong. I will not let you sink beneath the surface another minute. I pull you up firm but gentle, strong but never harsh. And you must understand when I pull you, it is not because you failed, it is because you are mine. And anything that belongs to me, I will protect at all costs. You once believed I became angry when you sinned, but you misunderstood. I am not angry at you, I am angry for you. Angry at the things that are destroying you. I am not against you, I am against the forces pulling you away from your destiny. I do not punish you, I punish what attacks you. You thought I would leave you when you fell. But the truth is that in the very moment you fall, I draw closest. I come to hold you before you harm yourself further. You may say, I am unworthy. But I answer, I never called you because you were worthy. I called you because you belong to me. And because you belong to me, I will not let compromise win. I will not let darkness write the next chapter. I will not allow you to become someone I did not create. Now I want you to hear this with an open heart. You are stronger than you think. You are not as weak as the emotions of the night tell you. You are not as tired as fear insists. You are not a failure the way old memories try to convince you. Within you is something darkness cannot touch, the life I breathed into you. When you think you have lost everything, you are actually beginning to find the true essence of your soul. When you think you have gone too far, I am stepping closer to pull you back. And when you think you cannot change, I speak, I will change you. If you allow me, you are not trapped in compromise. You are simply walking out of it. So, you must hear this as the command of a father who loves you, yet speaks with holy firmness. You must rise. Rise from self-justification. Rise from the thoughts that shrink you. Rise from the environments that do not belong to you. Rise from the half-heartedness that has been exhausting your soul. Rise from the old voices. From the people who pull you downward. From the things that draw you away from me. You are not weak, you are simply scattered. You are not compromised, you have merely forgotten that you were created for something greater. And I am calling you this time not just to return, but to rise. I want you to see the future as I see it, a future with no shadow of compromise, no voice of accusation, no lingering weariness, no avoidance. That future is where you walk lightly yet powerfully, peacefully yet sharply, humble yet never fragile. You are not weak, you are simply scattered. You are not compromised, you have merely forgotten that you were created for something greater. And I am calling you this time not just to return, but to rise. I want you to see the future as I see it, a future with no shadow of compromise, no voice of accusation, no lingering weariness, no avoidance. That future is where you walk lightly yet powerfully, peacefully yet sharply, humble yet never fragile. You believe I am powerful. You believe I am all-knowing. But you have never actually believed I am tender. You fear that every time you fail, I will be disappointed. You fear that when you fall, I will stand far away. You fear that if you return too late, I will shut the door. And I know why that fear exists. The image of Father inside you has been distorted by past experiences. You were scolded when you were weak, abandoned when you were hurting, met with silence when you needed to be heard. And unconsciously, you assumed I would be the same. But today I come to shatter that false image so you can see me as I truly am. I am not like anyone who has ever wounded you. I do not grow tired of you. I do not change my affection based on your mistakes. I do not love you less when you stumble. I do not turn away when you are tangled inside. I do not stay silent to punish you. I stay silent so you can hear your own voice and recognize how much you need me. You do not realize that many times when you thought I was far, I was actually holding you closer so you would not destroy your own soul. If I am silent, it is not rejection, it is protection. If I warn you, it is not anger, it is the deepest love. If I correct you, it is not to hurt you, it is so you may live. You have lived too long under the pressure to prove yourself, to prove you are strong, to prove you are good, to prove you are worthy, to prove you have not disappointed anyone. But I have never loved you because you performed well. I love you because you belong to me. I do not love you like a father who loves conditionally. I love you like a father who sees into the depths of your soul and says, no matter what you do, I am here. You must hear this so your heart can be rescued. I am not looking for chances to punish you. I am seeking reasons to save you. And those reasons always exist because you are my child. I want you to remember the story of the prodigal son, not as a distant biblical tale, but as a portrait of how I treat you. That father did not wait for his son to kneel and apologize. He ran first, embracing him with a wounded yet unchanging love. Before the son even finished confessing, the father had already covered him with a robe, placed a ring on his hand, sandals on his feet, and prepared a feast. Do you think I wait for you to explain yourself? No. I run first. I embrace you when you are still dirty. I restore you before you restore yourself. I declare you mine before you dare call me Father. My love is faster than your repentance. I know there are moments when you think, I don't dare come near God because I'm unworthy. But listen, if only the worthy could come, then no one would be close to me. You come to me not because you are clean. You come so I may make you clean. You return not because you are strong. You return because I am your strength. You do not need to change yourself before coming back. You come back so I may transform you from the inside out. The image of me that you have carried for so many years, a stern, easily angered, distant God, is not me. It is a distortion formed by the wounds you endured. I am not like earthly fathers. I am not like the people you trusted who later disappointed you. I am not like those who abandoned you when you needed them most. I am the Father who keeps his word, who does not change, who is patient, who is gentle, who knows you are still fragile yet says, I choose you. I see how when you make mistakes, you punish yourself. You withdraw from me. You hesitate to pray. You avoid Scripture. You fear I will correct you with anger. But hear me clearly, I do not use anger to transform you. I use grace. Anger may frighten you, but only grace can change you. You will not mature by trembling and avoiding me. You will grow only when you know I never reject you. I do not recall your old wrongs. I do not keep a ledger of your failures. I do not look at you with scrutinizing eyes. I look at you as I would a rough gemstone I know will shine once it is shaped by love. You must understand this truth to be truly free. I am a protecting Father, not a punishing one. I do not refuse you because I am displeased. I protect you because I love you. When I withhold something, it is not control, it is shelter. When I close a door, it is not jealousy, it is rescue. When I warn firmly, it is not scolding, it is me pulling you away from danger. You misunderstood my tone. That is why you feared me. But if you receive the true image of who I am, a merciful Father, patient, righteous yet tender, you will run toward me instead of running away. Let me heal that image right here. I am not disappointed in you. There has never been a day I regretted choosing you. There has never been a moment I thought you were unlovable. There has never been an hour in which I stopped pursuing your heart. You fall, I hold you. You grow weary, I wrap my arms around you. You wander, I search for you. You hide, I call your name. You grow silent, I stay close. And even now, I am placing my gentle hand upon your life, not to push you down, but to pull you back home, the home of safety, of truth, of grace, of my breath upon you. I want to place my hand upon the deepest place you have never allowed anyone to touch, the place where you told yourself, "It's fine," while your soul silently ached. There are parts of you no one has ever seen, because people only look at the surface, but I look straight into the core of who you are. There were nights when you lay still, staring at the ceiling, wondering why your heart felt so heavy. But I understood. There were mornings when you woke up feeling distant from me, despite doing nothing wrong. And I knew why. You have lived so long depending on endurance that your heart has begun to grow numb. I do not come to accuse. I come to soften the part of you that no longer knows how to feel. Because when your heart becomes soft again, you can hear me clearly and step into the light I prepared for you. My child, I want to take you even deeper into the place you often avoid, not to hurt you, but to remove the invisible cords you have worn for so many years without realizing. There are things you no longer cry about, not because you healed, but because you went numb. There are places in your soul that no longer react, not because they are restored, but because they are exhausted to the point of silence. You think quietness is peace, but in truth it is the exhaustion of a heart wounded for too long. And I, with both the gentleness and authority of a father who knows you completely, have come to awaken the parts you thought had died. The parts you no longer dare to believe can come alive again, not with an explosion, but with the soft breath touching the deepest center of your heart. I hear your sighs even when you say nothing. I see the nights you lie still, unable to sleep yet too drained to pray. I know there are moments when you want to return to me, but something inside fears the disappointment of not meeting what you think I expect. I know, and because I know, I do not stand far away. You might think I wait for you to get it together before letting you come close, but the truth is the opposite. I draw closest when you are most tangled. I do not wait for perfection to speak with you as father to child. I only wait for your breath whispering, "Father," even if it is one single word. You do not need perfect sentences. You do not need strength. You do not need grand promises. You only need to be real, and I will take care of the rest. I know your compromise did not come from rebellion, but from exhaustion. You needed someone to hold you, and the darkness arrived faster than the light because you assumed I was slow. You needed comfort, and you reached for what felt easier instead of what was right. You needed a way out, and you chose shortcuts because you thought they would help you breathe again. But my child, you have never disappointed me in your weakness. I do not look at you through your mistakes. I look at you through the destiny I placed inside you. And I want you to know something profound. No mistake is stronger than the plan I have for you. No detour is powerful enough to make me give up. No misstep can silence my voice calling your name. I have come to heal the image of Father within you, because that very image distorted, blurred, and burdened with fear is what makes you run from me faster than temptation itself. You do not run from me because you are bad. You run because you are afraid. Afraid I am angry. Afraid I am disappointed. Afraid I will abandon you the way people once abandoned you. But my child, I have never thought of you the way those who hurt you once did. I have never used silence as punishment. I have never used distance as discipline. I am the Father who runs toward you, not the Father who turns his back. I know you still carry the question, does Father still love me? And I answer with the seriousness of heaven, I love you even more in your weakness. When you are strong, you easily forget me. But when you are weak, you seek me with a true heart. I am not afraid of your weakness. I am only concerned when you let that weakness become your identity. You are not your frailty. You are not your mistakes. You are not your seasons of compromise. You are the child I love, the child I pull close, the child I lift up, the child I relentlessly pursue, the child I have never taken my eyes off. And I want you to feel this so deeply that it changes the rhythm of your breathing. I am not angry with you. I am rescuing you. Do you think I forgot the tears you shed in the dark? No. Every tear has a sound in the spiritual realm. Every sigh rises like a prayer. Every time you struggled to stand, even when weak. It was the voice of a soul still longing to return. I have never overlooked that. There were moments when you thought God must be so disappointed. But I looked at you and said, "You did not disappoint me. You moved me." As long as you still desire to return, your journey has never ended. As long as you hunger for the light, the darkness has no authority to win. I want to take this deeper. I do not simply want you to walk away from compromise. I want to heal the reason you compromised. Not merely change your behavior, but heal the pain beneath it. Not simply slam the door shut, but rebuild the foundation so the door will not swing open again. You compromised because you were lonely. I will heal that loneliness. You compromised because you felt inferior. I will heal that insecurity. You compromised because you doubted you were loved. I will heal that fear. You compromised because you thought I was far. I will come so close that doubt will no longer survive. I do not simply want you to be right. I want you to be whole. Not only forgiven, but restored. Not only turning from the wrong, but fully alive in what is right. My child, I have seen all your pain, and I have not despised a single moment. I have seen all your weakness, and I have not abandoned you for even a second. I have seen the moments you hid, and I have still looked at you with tenderness. Now I place this truth upon your heart. You no longer need to fear me. You no longer need to guess what I think. You no longer need to condemn yourself. You no longer need to pretend to be strong. You only need to come. Come like a child running into a father's embrace, tired but honest. Weak but honest. Unfinished but honest. And I, with arms wide open, will be the place where you rediscover your own heart. Before I close this journey, I want to take you one step further, a step into the deepest place of truth. A place no sermon can reach. A place only my presence can unlock. This is not the moment for you to understand me with your mind. This is the moment for you to feel me with your soul. You have heard my warnings. You have heard my explanations. You have heard my healing. But now, I want your heart itself to believe again. Because no transformation is lasting unless your heart believes your Father is truly kind, truly near, truly for you. I do not want you to be strong only because of emotion. I want you strong because you know me as I truly am. And I want that truth sealed here. Look back at the seasons when you hid from me out of fear of judgment. I saw every time you avoided my presence because you believed you were too dirty. I saw every moment you thought God must be furious. I saw the times you lowered your face and dared not pray because you believed you had gone too far. But my child, you have never gone so far that I could not catch up. You have never fallen so deep that my hand could not reach. You have never wandered so lost that I could not find you. If I am the Father of light, I am also the Father of the darkest corners in your heart, and I go there not to condemn, but to bring you out. There is no place I see that I despise. There is no part of you I look at and reject. There is no past I cannot make new. My beloved child, you need to know this as a foundation that can never be shaken. I am the Father who never grows weary of loving you. My love does not depend on your performance. It does not rise or fall according to your good days or bad days. It does not increase when you read more scripture, nor does it diminish when you feel weak. It simply loves unconditionally, loves persistently, loves in a way that never gives up. You cannot break my love. You may run, but you cannot escape. You may hide, but you cannot disappear from my hands. And I want you to stop, not to be punished, but to be held. I know you do not only need to hear about forgiveness, you need to touch it. You need to feel once again the safety of the cross, the place where I not only forgave your sins but healed your memories. You once thought the cross was only for those who committed great wrongs, but the cross is for every place within you that needs renewal. Every time you find yourself weak, that is not a sign of distance from me, it is an invitation to return to the shadow of the cross. There, you do not need to perform. There, you do not need to be worthy. There, you do not need to hold yourself together. There, you can rest in grace. I expand this so you will never forget. Grace does not only forgive, grace transforms, not through force or striving, but through the gentleness of my love. You do not change through fear, you change through trust. You do not grow stronger through self-condemnation, you grow stronger because you know you are loved. You do not leave compromise simply because it is wrong. You leave because you have tasted something better. You will not return to the darkness, not because you fear it, but because you have seen the light. And that light is me, the one who never gives up on your soul. Even when you have given up on yourself, you do not need to recreate a better version of yourself. I will remake you from within. That is the work I do best. Do you remember the times you cried alone when no one knew? I knew every one of them. There were tears you shed that you yourself could not explain. But I understood, for they were the cries of a soul yearning for something deeper, something the world could never provide. And now I want you to know those tears were not wasted. They are evidence that you were made for the light. They are signs that you do not belong to the darkness. They are prayers without words. They are the quiet flame proving you are still alive. And I will use every one of those tears to water the new ground I am leading you into. Now listen to the most important part of this entire journey. I am rewriting the story of your life. Not patching it up, rewriting it. Not repairing the past, renewing from the roots. Not editing a few chapters, reshaping the entire storyline. You thought the old chapter was still binding you, but it is only the foundation for the chapter I am preparing. You thought the past defined the future, but in my hands, the past becomes material for something more beautiful. I am not only saving you from what was wrong, I am leading you into what is right. Not merely bringing you back, but lifting you higher. And here is the final word I place like a seal upon your soul. You are not abandoned in this battle. You are not left alone to resist compromise. You do not have to keep yourself from the darkness by your own strength. You do not have to change yourself by your own power. I am here. I am near. I am not only the one who warns, I am the one who lifts you. Not only the one who corrects, I am the one who embraces you. Not only the one who exposes, I am the one who heals. And from this day forward, you walk not as one trying to do better, but as one loved deeper. You walk not to avoid mistakes, but to live fully in the light I prepared for you. You have been called. You have been drawn back. You have been touched again. And now you are reborn into the story I have written for you from eternity. May the Lord continually remind you to live each day in His faith and His love. Remember to follow and turn on notifications so you never miss the sacred and meaningful messages He desires to give you. May God bless you. Amen.